Ain't no one sad about Coulter.
Gotta chase what you want to catch.
You ain't so bad. I was gonna have you killed, but I changed my mind. You can thank me some other time.
I'm back.
Well, that didn't take long. It's my job as Pack Alpha to render up the spoils. Here, consider yourself spoiled. So, don't suppose you want to help me out with another little something-something? Word from one of our burrows. Got someone pissing in their water hole. Needs to be taught a lesson.
Who am I up against?
Raiders.
My kind of work.
Go get them.
If you're wearing a collar, it's because you asked for it. Ain't no one's a slave until... Got another one coming through the gauntlet, boss. Fritz is waiting for you.
The zoo's bigger than ever, but we can manage our shit.
Not supposed to hurt the other gangs. No rule against tricking them into hurting each other, though.
Damn. Fix this place up good, boss.
Guess you heard the alarm, huh? Well, you know the deal. You want to take down another worthless wastelander?
Time to put on a show.
Hell yeah! Just head for the...
Supporting the operators. Smartest thing alive.
How about something a little more challenging next time?
Nuka World is a trap for fools, and an opportunity for those who recognize it.
Chalk another one up for the... Well, I was gonna say good guys, but you know what I mean.
Well, well. Hadn't been expecting you so soon. Here you are, your piece of the spoils. You know, the operators could use your expertise again, if you're up for it.
Is there a problem?
The disciples have made an annoyance of themselves, yet again. Sounds like they're trying to make a new ally out in the wastes. I'd like the chance to present our case. Make him wear this shock collar. You can either sneak up to him and attach it, or beat him into submission and then do it.
Who are we talking about here?
Gunner contingent. Chance?
Made some good moves, boss. Guess Gage knew what he was doing for once.
I thought about trying my hand at the gauntlet just to see if I could do it. Wasted time now. No one's stopping your performance.
Mags, William, and Lizzie. All you have to do is hear them speak to know they weren't born into this life. Sure is.
Thought we'd have to put you in your place, but you earned it.
The pack dominates.
If you ain't standing out, you ain't worth looking at.
No need to worry, boss. We've got your back. If Lizzie asks you to volunteer for one of her tests, don't. Things will get better. One day. We'd all considered putting a bullet in Coulter's back at some point. Suppose you just beat us to it.
Over, boss. They...
Respect around here. You gotta earn it. Of course, handing over new abodes hasn't hurt.
I thought about trying my hand at the gauntlet just to see if I could do it. Waste of time now.
Hey there.
Overboss. A pleasure. Shank said you might need some tools to... ease relations with the people of the Commonwealth. Well, getting what you want out of those roofs easier. Only thing we ask in return is that you remember the operators when you're handing out new territory on the other side of the mountains.
What exactly have you got?
So, first up, something to manipulate a target. It's a homemade distillation brewed to mimic human flight pheromones. Toss one of these grenades at the feet of your target, and convincing the wary settler suddenly becomes a much simpler affair. Now, to function effectively, I had to make the formula precise. So it's not going to work on people in any of the big towns like Bunker Hill or Diamond City, nor on caravanners. But for your purposes, hitting settlements out in the Commonwealth, it ought to give you a serious edge.
So it only works at settlements. Are there any other restrictions I need to know about?
Nothing beyond that. I've been trying to get the formulas working better for more varied environments. But for now, the current brew should serve.
Take any advantage I can get.
Well, this should give you one. Here. Only had enough to make the one locally. But you can take the recipe as well, should you find yourself wanting more. So, the other trick up our sleeve is a little more broad spectrum than the grenades. Gulp down a couple lungfuls, and anyone you speak to will be far more apt to give you what you want. Plus, I've winnowed down the addiction risk to near zero, so no need to fear repeat usage. Here. Ingredients for that one have been tricky to find, but between that and the grenade, you should have no problem getting at least one settlement under your control before you have to brew up your own. And just remember us when you're crushing those poor settlers underfoot, hmm?
We'll take care of the territory, boss. After all, you put it in good hands.
Mags, William, and Lizzie. All you people see the lights. Bound to get all sorts of new scores wandering our way.
You should get inside the city. Commonwealth's a dangerous place. Lucky you're near the great green jewel.
Their robots may be freaking shit, but Institute Tech sure
Not supposed to hurt the other gang.
And thank him. Without him, we'd be screwed. And then you get right back up, you get out there, and you tear some shit up. Hey, asshole, you're listening to Raider Radio.
Damn, the overboss in the flesh. So I heard this was the crew to join. You got something you need done?
Yeah, let me show you.
So, I was thinking about the time I came to the world. I ever tell you deadbeats that story? Doesn't matter. I feel like telling it now. Shut up.
considered putting a bit of quarters back at some point. Suppose you just beat us to it.
We got purified water inside the city. Best drink in the Commonwealth.
Hey, Cricket.
Come on, come on! Get your guns here. Small booms, big booms. I got them all.
Let's see what you have.
A part of every big purchase goes to planting little bitty trees that I'll blow up in your honor.
Hey, you.
Christ, who gives raiders a damn radio station? What can I do for you?
You ever heard of Nuka World?
The theme park with all the raiders? Sure. Why?
I'm here to make you an offer. This place will supply me and my friends in Nuka World caps, food, whatever you got. In exchange, we won't bother you.
Oh. I don't know. A lot of hard work goes into this place. Can't just give it to you.
How about you and I make a deal? You get this place supplying my people. I'll make it worth your while.
You'll pay me? Yeah. I guess I can do that.
Hey, everybody. Bad news. We've got some new management.
I'm glad to see the relay didn't completely vaporize you.
Did you expect it to?
No, of course not. It was far more likely that it would just blow up. But it didn't. You made it in. Were you able to find the serum?
I've got it right here.
That's it. That's really it. All right. Let's see. Retrovirus has matured nicely. Density gradient is high. Recombinant counter-intron sequences look stable. Transcriptive exon strands have formed.
How are you going to test it?
On myself, of course. That was the plan. This serum will only counteract the specific strain of FEV that I infected myself with. There's no telling what it might do to anyone else. All right. Here we go. And now, we wait.
How long will it take?
I don't know. Nothing like this has ever been tried before. I'm going to rest for a while. I'm back in a few days, maybe a week, and... well, I guess we'll see. In any event, you kept your end of our bargain. Thank you.
Kick ass!
What was that?
over soon.
Show your face! Come on! I dare you! I know you're here.
No sign of him now.
Turn up. You're dead.
Gunner down!
You are seriously fucked!
What?
Come on, people! I need a...
I want this one dead!
Mags Black and Nuka Town owns you. Get moving.
I want to be left alone. Oh, wow. You're tall.
I wanted so much more from my life than this. Ugh.
Need new clothes? Should stop by Fallon's basement. Open during the day.
We're so delighted you've chosen us for your shopping needs. We buy and sell everything. From everyone. Always.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Anything and everything. You know what you're looking for? We have everything.
No loitering.
I'm glad to see you return safely. I know the task was difficult, but I needed you to see firsthand how dangerous a rogue synth can be.
Gabriel and his gang were sick bastards, hanging their victims up like trophies. I'm just glad it's over.
While we can do nothing for Gabriel's victims, we can at least take comfort in the knowledge that the threat has been removed. But enough about that. The task is done, and you've returned our synth safely to us. I couldn't have hoped for a better outcome. Well done. While you were away, I had quarters prepared for you. You'll find all the basic necessities, as well as a generous stock of arms and equipment. Go and have a look. I think you'll be quite pleased.
Don't make excuses. You're clearly defective, and I intend to report this.
Your new quarters are here, sir.
Disassemble. We can use your components to make something that's actually useful.
When you're finished here, sir, your father wants to see you.
Unit X688 speaks highly of your combat skills.
It's an honor to have you here, sir.
Sean.
Ah. Hello, Father. Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
I teach the guy a lesson. Make sure he never does it again.
Using physical force is never my first choice. But there are times when it becomes necessary. The group that calls themselves the Railroad have acquired several synths from the Institute. Synths that had gone missing in recent months. And they no doubt mean to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient beings. You've been in contact with the Railroad, so you're aware of their misguided beliefs.
They're crazy, thinking machines are alive.
Agreed. However noble they may believe themselves to be, they are thieves. Usually they are a minor nuisance, but lately they have become more emboldened. I'm afraid we've reached the point where a response is necessary. We have learned the current location of these synths, and need to reacquire them before the Railroad can hide them.
Where are the synths located?
A small settlement at the old Bunker Hill Monument. But it's important that we act on this soon, before the Railroad has any indication we've tracked them. We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the synths. That would only complicate matters.
Is it just me, or will I have backup?
A Corso will be waiting for you outside Bunker Hill. You'll have support should you need it. But we want to keep this small.
I've been waiting for you.
So, what's our situation?
I assume you've been briefed? Our targets are inside. 4 synths under railroad protection. Majority of the settlement is uninvolved and are expected to run for cover. The situation appears to have escalated. A covert approach is likely impossible. We move in, secure the synths, and I relay out with them back to the Institute. Clear?
Hey, I'm gonna need some of your grenades. Hand them over.
Very well. Our targets are being sheltered by a man named Stockton. Limited backup will be available to us. Use these only if necessary. The mission's parameters just changed. We go in shooting. Requesting backup relay now.
Intruder alert! Have it your way. Not victorious.
Fascinating. look!
Hostiles in sight. Tango down. Light 'em up. Where'd they go?
I've been looking for you.
No, I've got money. It's yours if you let me go.
F633, initiate reset. Authorization code Delta 62 Arcus.
Well, that's that.
All right, Synth.
Please.
Z322, initiate reset. Authorization code Gamma 49 Typhoon. You there, Synth.
Come on, please. Just don't.
B257, initiate reset. Authorization code Theta 93 Stratus. No sudden moves.
Please, no.
Y915, initiate reset. Authorization code Beta 77 Tempest.
That's all of them. Objective complete. Return to the town. Make sure all hostiles have been eliminated. I will relay the synths back to the Institute. Report to Father upon your return, and good work.
Unless you like getting shot, never turn your back on a gunner.
I'll wear your guts around my neck! What? Who's there?
Is detecting stealth activity. Appears to be not by order of
And it won't be you!
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
It wasn't always like this. It used to be different.
I can only imagine. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
Why refreeze me?
As a failsafe, of course. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
So it was you. You let me out.
Yes. It was my decision. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. I had no idea what kind of man you were, you see. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you? As it has everything else? Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
Sean, you need to know. I still love you.
I can see that you do. It's remarkable. There are greater things to come after your success at Bunker Hill. The synths have been safely returned and will be repurposed. Thank you for your work. I hope you weren't at too much risk.
What do you mean, the synths will be repurposed?
Modifications will be made to correct the defects in their programming, and they'll be assigned to new duties within the Institute. Not the first or last time it will happen. The railroad remains an annoyance, of course. But they'll be dealt with as necessary. And you, well, you've passed the test, as they say. You have done well. Please, take this as a token of my appreciation. Our appreciation, really. It's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in.
From what I hear, that rogue scent at Libertalia was a real menace. Glad it's back where it belongs.
I hope all your needs are being seen to. You just let me know if they're not.
Sounds like those raiders at Libertalia are quite a handful.
Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is he doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ayo has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Excuse me, but, sir, are you sure this is, well, the proper time to be discussing that? Considering, given all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
What's Phase 3?
It's very important to us. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
In this world, I'm sure compromise is necessary.
Quite right. For far too long, we've been dependent on others. On our surroundings. That time is over. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Can you tell me more about this reactor?
Certainly. It was originally built for the Commonwealth Institute of Technology before the war, but was only for testing. Over the years, we've advanced the technology, made a great many improvements, and are finally nearly ready to activate it. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir?
Yes, Dr. Ayo. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way, he has proven more than capable of handling himself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
No! You can't
Please,
be serious!
Everyone, please, I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
You're dying?
I'm afraid so. A very aggressive form of cancer. Believe me when I say we've done everything we can. We can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my father as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really?
How can you possibly justify this? He isn't one of us. He isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my father has already proven himself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
Unit B592 is undergoing the reclamation process as we speak. Before long, he'll be back in the workforce.
Rushed work is sloppy at best and deadly at worst.
Perhaps someday our synths can reclaim the Commonwealth.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once.
I'm sorry, Father. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
What would it mean to be in charge?
Most divisions of the Institute are fairly autonomous, perfectly capable of functioning without intervention. Where those divisions interact, however, problems can arise. You'd lead the Directorate in setting policy, resolving disputes, and the like. There's no question that some of the Directorate, and the Institute at large, will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead, for all of us. But for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
Synth Unit, you were scheduled for maintenance duty in SRB last night. Anything you'd like to report?
Nothing to report, sir. I carried out my...
Nothing to report, sir. Nice work bringing that rogue synth back.
Ready for the next mission, sir?
Let's move out.
Right behind you, sir.
X688 sounded very impressed with your work at Libertalia. He doesn't give praise lightly. Well done.
Scanning unknown identity. Clearance confirmed.
So your father's father, but he's older than you. That's weird.
The future of mankind has never looked brighter. It makes me proud to serve.
Greetings, sir.
Busy day for you, isn't it? Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
What the hell is this operation about?
Hey, relax. We wouldn't send you off without the proper information. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going to the mass fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
What's a beryllium agitator?
The details would be lost on you. No offense. The point is, it'll allow us to boost the reactor's power and get it running sooner than planned. You just keep me safe. I'll worry about the agitator.
Sounds good. I'd appreciate the company.
Not as much as I'd appreciate coming back in one piece. I don't like going above ground unless there's no other option. But here we are, with our options dwindling quickly. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and I'll meet you there.
You can't be serious. Building
Nice little
something new?
setup. Wouldn't mind one of these at the agency.
I can't express how truly humbling it is to stand in your presence.
Guess we'll have to go through them.
For Elder back. Contact lost.
Bad Victoria.
for the Brotherhood! Taking fuck dead! Feel my...
No sign of the agitator. We'll have to search the rest of the building.
Going down.
Regret this. Waste of ammo. Thought I heard something move.
Elder. Smacks.
Blow the conduit! Now!
It's clever. I'll give him that.
I'm hit! Live, brother.
Good thinking.
Yes. That ought to do it.
That should do it. Elevator elevator ought to have power again.
Now.
Victoria.
Don't make me come find you.
Bingo. That's it.
Something's out there. Can't feel my...
I'm warning you. I have strict shoot-to-kill orders. Damn, lost him.
Search the area.
Hiding is pointless.
For
What was that?
Surprise assault. Man out. Can't hide from us.
It's only a matter of time before
Use every resource.
For Elder.
Sweet.
Heads up! They went dark. I'm warning you. I have strict shoot-to-kill orders. Don't make me come find you. Sounding all clear.
There's the reactor. Not a bad piece of work for its time.
The operative words being, for its time.
That's it.
Guess they weren't so good at mitigating radiation. Levels are almost off the charts. I'll monitor them.
Got it.
Powering up. Protectron on duty.
Now cycling airlock. Please wait. Initiating decontamination sequence. Decontamination complete. You may proceed.
Everything we're looking for, the agitator. It should be in a port at the top of the reactor.
Security alert in the reactor chamber. Emergency lockdown initiated. Please wait.
Just drop, will you? I've been waiting for
Decontamination complete.
Enforcement authorities.
Just don't know when they're beaten, do they?
They're dedicated to their duty. As a courser, I can respect that.
I'll help the synths buy some time. Make sure you get back to the Institute with the agitator.
Hostile.
Over here! Over here! Nice try. Damn it! Taking fire! Taking damage!
Utilizing stealth. How interesting.
Need backup!
Honor. Glory.
Better we take it than some wasteland scavenger.
Excuse me.
All systems nominal.
Sounds like those raiders at Libertalia were quite a handful.
We are honored to welcome you.
What are you going
here.
to tell me about this mysterious
Father's
phase?
always been a little
You know I can't talk about
unpredictable. I suppose his choice of a successor shouldn't surprise me.
A clean and healthy work environment.
Dr.
is
Fillmore.
essential to
I think that was
maximum
enough excitement
productivity.
for, well, ever. Thank you, really. Couldn't have managed it without you. I'll make sure the agitator gets where it needs to go. I understand Father is anxious to get you involved in something else. You'd better not keep him waiting. It's my responsibility to make sure this place runs smoothly.
How's your energy level? Feeling fatigued? No more than I'd expect from a man of my age.
I see. You're sticking to the regimen you agreed upon?
Yes, Doctor. I'm taking all my little pills.
Mm-hmm. And you've been getting extra rest?
Are there many more of these questions?
Interesting.
Yes.
You wanted to see me?
I understand mass fusion was a success, despite interference from the Brotherhood of Steel.
We handled them just fine.
That's what Dr. Fillmore reported. I'm quite pleased at the results. Would have been a terrible setback to lose that technology to those savages. The Brotherhood's intervention must be placed in a larger context, however, given their penchant for hoarding technology. Future conflict with them is guaranteed. We are, after all, keepers of the most advanced technology in the Commonwealth, if not beyond. It also cannot go unnoticed that there were concerns within the Institute about your allegiances. I, of course, never doubted your commitment to our cause. But by directly confronting the Brotherhood, I think you've put some others at ease. I'm proud of you, regardless. The Brotherhood is an issue for the future, and we must focus on the present. And look at me, rambling on like the old man I am. I'm wasting time. You're needed elsewhere at once.
Whatever it is, I can take care of it.
I certainly hope so. While you were working with Dr. Fillmore, a small team was dispatched elsewhere in the Commonwealth. Dr. Thompson was tasked with inviting someone from the Commonwealth to join the Institute.
Do you often extend invitations to join?
No, certainly not. Ordinarily, it would never be considered. But this case presented very special circumstances. There was no indication that this would be a problem. But the arrival of the team was an unwelcome surprise to Mr. Wallace. Somewhere along the way, he must have realized we'd been monitoring him from a distance. He called in mercenaries to defend him. I'm sure they're nothing we can't handle. Ensure the safety of the team and Mr. Wallace, and see that they all arrive back here safely. I'll be waiting.
Good evening.
For goodness sake, be reasonable. I know you can hear me, now open this door.
What's the use?
What's going on?
Dr. Higgs and Dr. Loken have decided to protest your appointment as Father's successor. They've taken control of the bioscience security systems and cut off our food supply.
That kind of insubordination can't be tolerated.
Have they made any demands?
Not yet, but I expect they'll demand that you renounce all ties to the Institute.
Is there a way I can communicate with them?
As a matter of fact, there is. I can unlock the maintenance tunnel that leads to the bioscience observation room. From there, you should be able to communicate with Higgs and Loken. If you can't reason with them, you can use this holotape to access the command functions on the observation room terminal. That should give you some options. Just please, try to talk to them first. Use violence only as a last resort. Here we are. Just give me a moment. There, it's unlocked.
Hostile attacking enemy.
Aha! I thought I heard something. Made it past the guards, Impressive. If you've come to change our minds, then you're wasting your time.
Can we talk about this?
Father chose not to talk to the Directorate before anointing you his successor. So how about I follow his fine example?
Father believes in me. The least you can do is give me a chance.
How could you hope to lead us when you hardly know anything about what we do? I'm sure you mean well, but you must see that it's an impossible task.
You'd rather everyone fight over the job? Is that what's best for the Institute?
I agree that the transition will be chaotic, but eventually, a leader will emerge from that chaos. Then, things will return to normal, and the work will resume.
Can't you at least give me a chance?
A chance? What do you think, Max?
Even the most fastidious researcher must sometimes take a leap of faith. I say let's give it a try.
Very well, then. Open the door, and let's return to the fold.
Since, abort command override and resume normal functions.
Got a minute to talk, sir?
What's up?
When Father told us about you, and who you were, it was clear he had certain biases. How could he not? He's your son, and proud of it. When he shared his plan for you to take his place, well, a lot of us thought that was more than just pride. It was narcissism. How would you, an outsider who knew nothing about us, run the Institute? We all had our doubts. Me, maybe more than most. But now, after watching the way you operate, well, I have to admit, I was wrong. It's clear to me now that Father knew what he was doing, and I should have trusted him.
Having doubts is normal. The most important question is, do you trust his vision for the Institute?
Yes, absolutely. I know that you haven't had much time with him. But I can tell you honestly, sir, Father is a great man. I believe in his plan for the future. I'll do anything in my power to make sure that future becomes a reality. Do I like wading through the filth that is the Commonwealth and all of its vermin? Of course not. But if that's what the Institute needs me to do, then I'll do it. My point is, you should be proud to call him your son.
I am proud.
I'm glad to hear that, sir. Anyway, I've said what I wanted to say. Thanks for listening.
Bravo! I admit I was fearing for the worst, but I can see that I underestimated you.
I'm just glad they listened to reason.
Indeed. There is one further matter to discuss. Obviously, some kind of disciplinary action must be taken here. The question of what form it takes is up to you.
Put them on probation. Limit their access to quarters and non-working areas.
That's more than fair. I'll see to it that everyone's notified.
Good decision. Those men could still have a lot to contribute. They just need to learn their lesson.
I'll take that holotape back. I also wanted to offer you something as a more personal expression of gratitude. I know that your work often takes you to the surface where supplies are scarce. I gathered these items together for you. I think you'll find them useful.